Describe an outdoor sport you would like to do. You should say what it is, when or where you would like to do it, with whom you would like to do it, and explain why you would like to do it.
Okay. Um, I'd like to talk about an outdoor sport I would really like to try, which is rock climbing. I've always seen videos of people climbing mountains and cliffs, and it looks both exciting and challenging. I think I would like to do rock climbing at a place like Rishikesh or maybe in the Himalayas because the scenery there is beautiful and it would make the experience even more special. Um, if I could, I'd love to go with a group of friends because I think it would be more fun and we could support each other. The main reason I want to try rock climbing is because it's a great way to test your physical strength and mental focus. I also like the idea of being close to nature and, getting a break from city life. I've never done anything quite like this before, but I think it would help me become braver and more confident. Overall, I feel that rock climbing would be an unforgettable adventure and a good way to challenge myself.
Thank you. Now we'll move into part 3. We'll discuss some more general questions related to this topic. First off, what are the differences between indoor sports and outdoor sports?
Well, the main difference is that indoor sports are played inside, usually in a gym or hall, while outdoor sports are played outside, like in a field or park. So, for example, badminton and table tennis are usually indoor sports, whereas cricket and football are outdoor sports. Outdoor sports often depend on the weather, right? But indoor sports can be played pretty much any time. Oh, and outdoor sports usually need more space too.
Okay. Which outdoor sports are popular in India?
Oh, in India, cricket is definitely the most popular outdoor sport. I mean, almost every child plays cricket at some point. Other popular sports are football, hockey, and kabaddi is quite big too. Like during the IPL season, you see people playing cricket everywhere in streets and parks. I think these sports are loved because they're exciting and they sort of bring people together.
Right. And which sports are popular among elderly people?
Among elderly people, I'd say walking and yoga are very popular. Many seniors also enjoy playing badminton or maybe going for a swim. For example, my grandfather, he goes for a walk every morning with his friends, and they sometimes do some light exercises together. These sports are good for health, and importantly, they're not too hard on the body.
Makes sense. Which outdoor sports are popular with children?
Children, well, they usually like to play cricket, football, and running games like tag. For instance, after school, I often see kids playing cricket in my neighborhood. These sports are easy to play, they don't need a lot of equipment, and they help children make friends and stay active.
And how does weather affect outdoor sports?
Oh, weather has a big impact on outdoor sports. Definitely. If it's raining heavily or it's extremely hot, people might not want to play outside. Cricket matches, for instance, are often canceled during the monsoon season. But on the other hand, good weather makes outdoor sports much more enjoyable. So players always have to check the weather before planning a game.
Okay, last one for this round. Which sports can children do on rainy days?
On rainy days, well, children can play indoor sports like table tennis, badminton, or chess. Some kids also like to play board games or maybe do simple exercises at home. For example, my younger brother, he plays carom with his friends when it's raining outside. These activities keep them busy and active even when they can't go out to play.
Thank you. Okay, that definitely gives us a solid feel for a Band 8 performance. Very clear, addresses the questions.
Good fluency, good coherence.
Exactly. Now, let's hear how a Band 9 response might tackle the exact same set of questions. Same setup. I'm the examiner. You're giving the answers, aiming for Band 9 this time. Ready?
Ready.
Okay, here's the same part 2 question again. Describe an outdoor sport you would like to do. You should say what it is, when or where you would like to do it, with whom you would like to do it, and explain why you would like to do it.
Right. I'd like to talk about an outdoor sport I've always wanted to try, which is paragliding. I first became interested in it after watching a documentary about adventure sports in India, and I was fascinated by the idea of soaring above the landscape like a bird. If I had the chance, I'd love to go paragliding in Birbilling, which is quite a famous spot in Himachal Pradesh, known for its breathtaking views and ideal wind conditions. I'd prefer to experience it with a close friend who also enjoys adventure, as I think sharing the excitement would make it even more memorable. The main reason I want to try paragliding is that it seems to combine the thrill of flying with the sheer beauty of nature, and I think it would be an incredible way to overcome my fear of heights. I also believe it would give me a new perspective on life, both literally and figuratively, as seeing the world from above must be truly inspiring. Overall, paragliding represents both a personal challenge and a unique adventure that I sincerely hope to experience someday.
Thank you. And now for the part 3 follow-up questions again. What are the differences between indoor sports and outdoor sports?
Indoor sports are typically played in controlled environments, such as gyms or perhaps dedicated sports complexes, which means they're less affected by prevailing weather conditions. Examples would include squash, basketball, and gymnastics. Outdoor sports, on the other hand, take place in open spaces and are often influenced by factors like wind, rain, or intense sunlight. For instance, sports like cricket, football, or golf require large fields and are sometimes postponed due to adverse weather. Additionally, outdoor sports often offer a closer connection to nature and can sometimes be more physically demanding depending on the sport.
Right. Which outdoor sports are popular in India?
Oh, cricket is undoubtedly the most popular outdoor sport in India, capturing the attention of people across basically all age groups. Football is also gaining significant popularity, especially in certain states like West Bengal and Kerala. And sports like hockey, kabaddi, and athletics have strong followings as well. For example, during major cricket tournaments, the entire country seems to come to a halt, with people gathering in parks and streets to play or simply watch matches together. These sports not only entertain, but also really foster a sense of community.
Interesting. Which sports are popular among elderly people?
Elderly people often prefer low-impact activities, sports that promote health and social interaction. Things like walking, yoga, and swimming come to mind. In some communities, you'll also find seniors participating in group activities like lawn bowling or perhaps Tai Chi. For instance, my grandmother enjoys joining a morning yoga group in the local park, which helps her stay flexible and remain connected with her friends. These activities are generally ideal because they're gentle on the body and support both physical and mental well-being.
Good examples. Which outdoor sports are popular with children?
Children seem naturally drawn to more energetic outdoor sports like cricket, football, and cycling. Simple games like hide and seek or tag are also perennial favorites, aren't they?
Yeah.
For instance, my younger cousins spend hours playing football in the neighborhood playground, which not only keeps them physically active, but also teaches important lessons about teamwork and discipline. Outdoor sports really appeal to children because they effectively combine fun, exercise, and crucial social interaction.
Okay. How does weather affect outdoor sports?
Weather plays a really significant role in outdoor sports, as conditions like heavy rain, extreme heat, or strong winds can certainly disrupt games or even make them unsafe to play. For example, cricket matches are frequently delayed or canceled altogether during the monsoon season in India. Conversely, pleasant weather obviously encourages participation and generally enhances the enjoyment for everyone involved. Athletes and organizers must always monitor forecasts and adapt their plans accordingly to ensure safety and, ideally, optimal performance.
And finally, which sports can children do on rainy days?
Well, on rainy days, children typically have to shift to indoor alternatives. Sports such as badminton, table tennis, or swimming in covered pools are common choices. Many also enjoy activities like gymnastics or martial arts, which are usually held indoors anyway. For example, when it rains, my niece attends an indoor badminton class, which keeps her active despite the unfavorable weather outside. These alternatives ensure that children can remain engaged and maintain their physical health regardless of the outdoor conditions.
Okay, wow. Yeah, hearing those back to back, you can definitely feel a difference, can't you? Even though the content, the basic answers are similar.
Mm-hmm. There's a different quality to the language, isn't there?
Absolutely. So let's switch gears now and really unpack that difference. We know, obviously, that a high IELTS score isn't just vocabulary. There's fluency, coherence, grammar, pronunciation.
Right. It's the whole package. Lexical resource vocabulary is just one piece.
But it's a big piece, and it's what our source material really lets us focus on today. So let's zero in on that. What was it about the word choices, specifically in that Band 9 response, that sort of lifts it up?
Well, exactly as you said, the Band 8 was good. It was fluent, clear, answered the questions. But the Band 9 response just demonstrates a higher level of lexical resource. And like you said, it's not just about using big words randomly.
Right.
It's about using a wider range of words and phrases,
Yeah.
including less common ones, maybe some idiomatic language, and crucially, using them accurately and naturally, often in sophisticated combinations or collocations. It just paints a richer, more detailed picture.
Okay, so let's look at the Band 8 Part 2 response first, the one about rock climbing. Can you pull out some key vocabulary there?
Sure. So the Band 8 used exciting and challenging, which is, perfectly good. It means stimulating and difficult. The sentence was, it looks both exciting and challenging, clear, effective.
Yep, gets the job done. What about the location?
It mentioned beautiful scenery. Again, totally fine. Means attractive natural landscapes, used like because the scenery there is beautiful. Simple, understandable.
And going with friends.
The phrase was support each other, meaning help and encourage one another. We could support each other. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, logical for that activity, the reason for doing it.
A break from city life. That's a really common idiom, easily understood. Escape from the urban routine. I like the idea of getting a break from city life.
Very relatable, yeah. Any personal growth mention.
Become braver. Develop more courage. I think it would help me become braver and more confident. Straightforward.
And the overall feeling.
An unforgettable adventure, meaning a memorable, thrilling experience. Rock climbing would be an unforgettable adventure. So, yeah, like we said, Band 8. Clear, functional vocabulary communicates the idea as well.
Okay, totally clear. Now let's pivot to the Band 9 vocabulary from the Part 2 response, the one about paragliding. This is where we should see that elevation you talked about. What jumps out first?
Well, the language feels more vivid, more precise right away. Instead of just saying it looked interesting from videos, the Band 9 speaker said they were fascinated by the idea of soaring above the landscape.
Oh, soaring.
Yeah, soaring is much more evocative than just, say, flying. It implies this kind of high, almost effortless flight like a bird, which really fits paragliding. And soaring above the landscape itself is a nice, strong collocation. The sentence was, I was fascinated by the idea of soaring above the landscape like a bird.
Yeah, soaring definitely creates a stronger image. How is the location described in the Band 9?
Burr Billing was described as known for its breathtaking views. Now, breathtaking views is a very common but still strong collocation for extremely beautiful sights. It's definitely a step up from just beautiful scenery.
Right. Breathtaking is a good example of more powerful adjective choice. What about the conditions needed?
They used ideal wind conditions. This shows more specific vocabulary related to the actual sport, not just good weather, but the specific condition needed for paragliding. It's a very natural phrase in that context.
That specificity really adds authenticity. And going with a friend, the social bit.
The phrase was, share the excitement. Now, support each other from Band 8 is fine, but share the excitement focuses more on the shared emotional experience, the thrill. It's a very natural way to talk about doing something adventurous together.
Good point. That subtle shift.
Yeah.
And the motivation, instead of just testing strength.
The Band 9 talked about how it combines the thrill with the beauty, which is a more sophisticated construction, right? It elegantly links the excitement, thrill, and the aesthetic appeal, beauty, using combines.
That's a very concise way to put it, and the personal challenge aspect.
Instead of the more general, become braver, The Band 9 speaker specified, overcome my fear of heights. That's much more concrete, more personal. And overcome a fear is a standard useful collocation.
Yeah, naming the specific fear adds detail. What about getting a new perspective?
Ah, yes. They used the phrase new perspective, but then added both literally and figuratively. Now, new perspective is common, but adding literally and figuratively shows a higher level of sort of analytical thinking about language itself. That definitely impresses.
Yes, that little addition makes a big difference in demonstrating language awareness. And finally, the overall idea of challenge.
It was framed as a personal challenge, similar meaning to Band 8's challenge myself, but using the noun phrase personal challenge is a standard, maybe slightly more formal way to express it. Sentence was, paragliding represents both a personal challenge and a unique adventure.
Okay. So comparing part two, the band nine vocabulary is more descriptive, more specific, like ideal wind conditions, uses stronger collocations like breathtaking views, soaring above, and shows that ability to use language precisely, even analytically, with literally and figuratively.
Exactly.
Right. Let's move to part three vocabulary now. What stood out from the Band 8 answers there? Functional language again?
Pretty much, yes. Clear and functional. So, contrasting indoor and outdoor, we had played inside, defined as done indoors. Indoor sports are played inside, usually in a gym. Simple.
Yep. Weather impact.
Depend on the weather, meaning affected by it. Outdoor sports often depend on the weather. Clear.
Space required.
Need more space, requiring a larger area. Outdoor sports usually need more space. Again, direct.
Community aspect.
Bring people together, create unity. These sports bring people together.
Okay. Elderly activities?
Not too hard on the body. Gentle, safe. These sports are not too hard on the body.
Keeping kids active.
Keep children active, help them stay engaged physically. These games help children stay active.
Planning around weather.
Check the weather. Look at forecasts. Players always have to check the weather. So yeah, all very clear, gets the meaning across perfectly well.
Right. Now, the Band 9 approach to these same Part 3 topics, instead of just played inside.
The Band 9 used controlled environments. That's a more formal, more precise term for indoor places where conditions are regulated. It sets up a nice contrast with the outdoors. Indoor sports are played in controlled environments like gyms.
Controlled environments? Yeah, that sounds more technical, more precise. And for outdoor spaces.
They use open spaces, which is standard, but also added exposed to natural elements. That's a more formal and descriptive way to talk about being subject to wind, rain, sun, compared just depend on the weather.
That feels more sophisticated, yeah. How about building community?
The Band 9 used foster a sense of community. Foster is a slightly higher level verb than just bring together. It implies nurturing or actively developing that connection.
Foster is a great choice there for elderly people's activities.
Two key phrases. Low-impact sports, which is the standard fitness term for joint-friendly activities. Elderly people often prefer low-impact sports, and also promote health and social interaction. That's a more formal collocation than the Band 8 phrasing. Promote suggests actively encouraging positive outcomes.
Right, more formal, descriptive again. Children's sports.
The term energetic outdoor sports was used clear, descriptive, and then describing games like tag as perennial favorites. It's a lovely idiomatic phrase, isn't it? Meaning always popular. As fluency.
Perennial favorites. Yeah, that's a perfect example of that natural idiomatic language you mentioned. What about weather's impact in Band 9?
The Band 9 said outdoor sports are vulnerable to disruptions, meaning easily affected or interrupted. It's more precise and slightly more formal than just saying they could be stopped. Vulnerable to disruptions is a good, strong collocation.
Vulnerable, yeah. That adds a specific nuance. And the flip side, good weather.
Pleasant weather encourages participation. Using encourages is a bit more dynamic than saying it makes it more enjoyable.
Feels more active somehow. rainy day options.
They used shift to indoor alternatives, meaning move inside. Shift to is a nice phrasal verb there. And they also mentioned intellectually stimulating games for things like chess, showing an ability to categorize different types of activities.
Good distinction. Any other specific words or phrases that caught your ear in the Band 9 Part 3?
Yes, a couple.
Hmm?
Talk about squash courts, the term enclosed courts, specific noun phrase. And then two really great metaphorical phrases for cricket's popularity, describing it as having a religious following, meaning extreme devotion, used metaphorically, of course.
Right, not literal.
Not literal, no. And also calling sport a social glue, a common metaphor for something uniting people.
Religious following and social glue. Wow, those are fantastic examples of using language creatively, but also precisely. That really shows a high level of command, doesn't it?
It really does. And when you put it all together, the Band 9 responses consistently use vocabulary that's more precise, often more formal when appropriate, includes more of this idiomatic language, and uses stronger, maybe less common collocations. It's not just knowing words, it's deploying them skillfully to express ideas with more accuracy, more impact, and just more naturalness for a native-like speaker at that level. That depth and range is really what signals Band 9.
That analysis really clarifies it. It's like Band 8 uses the right tool, but Band 9 uses the perfect, maybe slightly specialized tool, making the whole thing seem smoother, more polished.
That's a great analogy. It's about that level of finesse, exactly.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, I think the main takeaway is pretty clear. Yes, fluency, coherence, all that matters. But hitting those very top bands often comes down to really skillful vocabulary use.
Hmm. Choosing words that aren't just correct, but precise, varied, naturally idiomatic, painting that richer picture.
And understanding these nuances, it's not just for passing a test, is it? It helps you appreciate language more, maybe improve your own communication.
Absolutely. It gives you a kind of roadmap for elevating how you express yourself, making those conscious choices.
Right. So here's a final thought for you, the listener, to maybe chew on today. As you listen to people, or even as you practice speaking yourself, can you start to notice those moments, those places where a slightly different word, perhaps one we talked about today, could lift a simple description into something more striking?
How does exploring these shades of meaning change how you see and how you talk about the world?
Something to think about. Keep listening, keep learning.
And keep exploring the words around you.
Until our next deep dive, thanks for joining us.